Hello and welcome everybody, HeirofCarthage here, coming to you from the beautiful Salty Studios, where, yes, it is always quite salty. Welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. I have an awesome replay for you today. This one's going to be from DBD Console of Rome. He has submitted many replays to us in the past, and this one is going to be a High Elves versus Warriors of Chaos. I've actually seen quite a bit of Warriors of Chaos recently, which honestly is fair. We're starting to get news about Tzeentch, and, well, Game 3 is going to be very heavy on Chaos, so why not get ready? Anyway, this is going to be a really fun replay. Make sure you watch it to the end. I assure you, this one is gonna be close, so hope you enjoy. Let's jump right in. So this one's gonna be fought on the Void of Hel Fen. The High Elves are rocking an Archmage, Lord of Death. There's a Handmaiden on foot, and we're going to have a Noble on an Elven Steed, a couple of Spearmen, 3 White Lions, the Everqueen's Court Guard, Sisters of Avalorn. We're also going to have Ragara's Pride. I almost said Ragnar. That's that's Glagnar's Human Rhines. I was about to get it wrong. So we got Ragara's Pride, War Lions of Trace. We're going to have some Silver Helms here as well for a little bit of mobility. The Archmage is atop an Eagle, and as far as spells go, we have Purple Son of Zerus, Spirit Leech, and yes, Aspect of Dread. Which is not one you see very often, but it imbues fear and terror onto a unit, and if it's overcast, it can be given to a group. As far as the Chaos armies, there are 4 units of Marauder Horsemen. There is a Chaos Chariot. There is a large line of Chaos Marauders up front, and then a large line of Chaos Warriors in the back. 4 of them are going to have great weapons, and 2 are going to have halberds. We do have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Death on a Chaos Dragon, so he is living the Chaosception. You can see the large amount of Warpstone in the background, so everybody is no doubt high and enjoying their time during this Battle of Hel Fen. As you can see that there were lots of people partying here last night. It just didn't go well for them, and they all had a visit from the Necromancer and got conscripted into the armies of Sylvannia shortly thereafterwards. And no doubt we're going to have more Sylvanian conscripts ready by the end of this battle, as this should be a hard-hitting one. So when it comes to melee, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Death is definitely the toughest unit on the battlefield. And the Sorcerer Lord of Death, by the way, has, I believe, Soul Blight and Spirit Leech as the spells, and then of course they got the Dragon's Breath. And when the initial Spirit Leeches are cast, it's going to look like the Sorcerer Lord of Death got it better of that, and, well, honestly, kind of does, because the Eagle has a lot less hit points. So, given the same circumstances, you're going to see a pretty effective Spirit Leeching there. Now, Chaos is bringing a couple of Marauder Horsemen wide on some of the flanks here. We do have the Illyrian Reaver Archers. There were 2 of those that are helping to keep the flanks clear. This Everqueen Court Guard is a very expensive archer unit, and it's not going to cut the mustard from just hitting targets like Chaos Marauders. It's going to need to hit the heavy infantry, dragon, or chariots in order to be particularly useful. Chaos has about a 40% numbers advantage in this battle. So the High Elves are going to have to overcome a significant numbers advantage. One unit that potentially helps them do this is the Everqueen's Court Guard, which can disproportionately kill a large number of units. Purple Sun could do the same, but it would take the right type of enemy blob in order to make the Purple Sun worthwhile. Now we're going to see the Silver Helms initially doing some charging here. They get hit with a Spirit Leech, which, while it doesn't do as much damage as Fate of Buna to a unit like this, Spirit Leech will kill off unit models, in small numbers, and it can be effective. Typically, the lower the number of unit models in a unit, the better off Spirit Leech does, I think, is the way that's going to work. So the White Lions of Trace, typically pretty trashy units. However, in this case, they're going to be pretty well suited. At their price point, they'll hold out okay against what they're going to come up with. It's not going to be amazing, but like I said, at their price point, it'll be all right. Anyway, we got an Aspect of the Dread cast on this White Lion, and you can see it actually did help to break some units there. It doesn't last for a terribly long time, but if I remember right, I think it's fairly cheap on the Winds of Magic. You can see that the Handmaiden of the Everqueen has been picking at the Dragon. So have the Everqueen's Court Guards. The Court Guards took a breath attack from the Chaos Dragon, which was very well spent. This is an extremely expensive unit, and to get that breath attack with the Dragon is very valuable. Very valuable indeed. So we're going to see the battle continue here. Chaos's numbers are really going to come into play. What's not going to help Chaos is that they're very slow. There's a lot of water on this map, which is going to make them even slower. Skinks would actually really love this map. for all the shallow water. Assuming this does count as shallow water. I'm not seeing the tooltip pop up, but I don't know if it shows up in these replays or not. I believe we're about to see another Soul Blight here. Yep, so that's a Soul Blight against the High Elves. We're going to see the Chaos Sorcerer of Death charge into the Everqueen's Court Guards. Honestly, suiciding into this unit, probably not a terrible plan. It's a very expensive unit that needs to be killed. However, the High Elf Noble and the Archmage of Death are nearby, and the Sorcerer Lord of Death is going to pay a major price for this, and he was not able to get rid of the Everqueen's Court Guards and routed in the process, and is going to be unceremoniously chased off the battlefield. We have this giant dragon being escorted away by the glorious eagle here for the High Elves. Oh man, I can't wait for Game 3. It's going to be so much fun. CA, please. Some of you might be excited with their marketing. I actually hate their marketing. Like, the game is months away, and they're showing it every day like that we're about to get it next week, and it's driving me nuts. I think it's going to be a good game, and I'm excited for it, but quite honestly, there's too much information. It's driving me nuts. It needs to wait till closer to the game. Anyway, that's probably an unpopular opinion, but that is my opinion. We're going to see the Illyrian Reaver archers charge in here and try and help kill off Marauder horsemen. They should do okay in this melee. Illyrian Reaver archers are pretty decent in melee, all things said. We're going to have only really one unit of White Lions left. They're going to help try and get rid of some more of these Chaos Warriors. And the Noble is busy trying to chase off another unit of 47 Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Obviously does not want that unit to come back, so the High Elves have to get a lot of their units busy chasing off routing units. Going to leave them relatively outnumbered. The Everqueen's Court Guard is going to go down with only 50 kills. It's probably not a good trade for a unit of that cost. It would have needed to stay clear of the battle, but it just wasn't able to. Too many Marauder horsemen with their javelins. I guess that they truly enjoy Javelin Day, and who doesn't, right? Who doesn't enjoy a good Javelin Day? Well, I guess usually the people who are on the receiving end of it. You know, it's too bad that White Lions kind of suck, because they really are a cool-looking unit. I mean, they're not total trash, but they're kind of trash. What do you all think of White Lions? Am I being too mean to them? I feel like this unit, I don't have much argument with their cost. I just don't think their stats are very good for the cost. Some people are like, well, they're only 800. I don't know, for 800, though, it still doesn't feel like a good deal. I almost feel like you get as much out of a unit of red-crested skinks, and they cost considerably less, I think. In any case, we're going to see Chaos starting to really make their numbers felt here. So the High Elves are just really struggling to deal with the numbers. If we look at those numbers, there were 621 Elves and 1,084 Warriors of Chaos. And so, again, about a 40% numbers advantage for Chaos. We're going to see a Fate of Buna here. Or, sorry, not a Fate of Buna, a Purple Sun of Zerus. So the Archmage giving these Warriors of Chaos a bit of sunny vacation here. You know, taking them... in fact, you can get a third-degree sunburn through the armor with the Purple Sun of Zerus. So these Chaos Warriors, despite their normal pasty complexion, will no doubt be looking dark and tall tomorrow and impressing all of the ladies. So here we've got the Archmage chasing off some routing units. We've got the Noble doing the same. And you can see that Chaos is going to have a pretty substantial component of infantry left. They've got a couple of warriors with great weapons. They've got a halberd. So 3 of these are Chaos warriors, not marauders. So Chaos is in pretty solid shape, even if all these units are chased away by the High Elves. And one of them came back. The warriors with halberds came back from routing. There's not a huge High Elf presence in the area. So many of these Chaos Warrior units are coming back. Look at this. Marauder Horseman still got a lot of javelins, too. This one has javelins. I'm surprised they're charging in here. They really ought to just sit back and toss their javelins. They'll be pretty effective given time. This Marauder Horseman is going to go ahead and give a javelin volley there. Nice dodge by the Illyrian Reaver archers to avoid some of that javelin damage. And let's just see. Yeah, continuing to try and clean up routing units. We did have the Handmaiden of the Everqueen. She is probably somewhat upset at the loss of the Everqueen's Court Guard. Those were her sisters and her friends, no doubt. So she is just kind of casually walking across the battlefield with her magic bow while taking some javelin fire from behind. Not too much caring about it. But she's going to continue to try and get back into the right position. She's exhausted, which probably explains the slow movement speed, but she's got 93 kills in this battle. This provided some pretty decent value, I would guess, all things considered. So I'm going to fast forward for a moment. The High Elves are going to continue to try and mop up Chaos Remnants, but look at this. There's still a very sizable component of Chaos left over here. So now it's 72 to 271. If there were enough magic for Fate of Buna and the right opportunity, it would be very effective. Also, if there was an aspect of Dread cast on the Archmage at just the right moment, coming in with a rear charge, you could potentially rout all the Chaos units. So we're going to do a little dodgy work here against the Marauder Horsemen. And I like how they dodged and then dodged back in their direction. And this allowed for a charge which ended up shattering both of these Marauder Horsemen with some of their ammunition left. So that is a big win for the Elves. They took some units off the battlefield quite effectively there. I'm going to fast forward again. We're coming into the final showdown. Chaos is going to be lacking leadership. I think Chaos Warriors in general, pretty good morale, pretty good. They're not immune to psychology, though when it comes to psychology, you only got fear off of the Eagle. Unless we see the aspect of Dread, we're not going to have any terror present. The Chaos Chariots are going to be very decent against most everything here. I know that some of these units are horses and other stuff like that, but they'll be decent. I get a nice rear charge here from the Archmage to help get in and support the Noble. The Noble is going to be a very tough melee unit here. Very tough. The charges from the Illyrian Reaver Archers should do some nice damage, but Chaos just has a lot of armor. These are some tanky units, and some of them are anti-large to boot. So these Illyrian Reaver Archers are in way over their head here when it comes to the polearm Warriors of Chaos. Those guys can cut up much more dangerous units than Illyrian Reaver Archers, but I do like that while some of the High Elf units remain in combat, the Archmage of Death gets some cycle charges in. It's taking a lot of damage every time it pulls out because it's being attacked when it pulls out. So they're trying very hard in this fight. They've got the number of Chaos Warriors down under 200, but their own numbers are about to drop down under 20. And in fact, it just did. So it is an uphill fight, to say the least. The Handmaiden, a pretty decent melee unit. Not dedicated AP, but does a fair bit of damage. Enough so that she could be killing off unit models, but she'll also take some brutal damage here, especially from the Chariots. The Chariots get a bonus versus the Handmaiden. Now, she gets a bonus against them as well if she lands an attack, because she is an anti-large unit in melee. There, it looks like she did score a hit on the Chariots, but there's a lot of Chaos Infantry in the vicinity. It's causing big issues for the High Elves. They're managing to cut down quite a bit of it, though. An impressive amount, in fact. The Archmage has 96 kills, got 68 kills on the Noble, and 100 kills on the Handmaiden of the Everqueen. It's going to be a very close finish. I'm going to leave the UI on at this point, though I'll take the stats out of the way so it'll be slightly more cinematic, but also give you all an idea of who is winning the fight, because it is indeed very close. You're going to see some Chaos units routing. Got a Shattered Warrior with Great Weapon there, that's going to hurt, and then we got a Halberd routing here, but the Archmage doesn't dive bomb the Halberds. She comes straight back into this fight. Kind of expected her to maybe try and shatter that unit, but she gets right back in the main fight, maybe hoping for more routes, and they get, that's the same one that was routing. The Chariots begin wavering. Got a Warrior with a Great Weapon wavering, but there goes the Archmage. She wasn't able to pull out of that fight, and despite having the Noble and the Handmaiden and the Everqueen nearby, it looks like all the Chaos units were focused on the Archmage. Not a bad idea, especially if that Archmage managed to summon up enough Winds of Magic to get another spell off. We didn't see anything happen there, and that's going to pretty much leave the Handmaiden in overhead, so she is going to rout, and then that leaves just the High Elf Noble here in this fight. And although the High Elf Noble is very capable, and I would say that were the High Elf Noble on an Aethelmar Chariot, probably could win this fight because of all the bonus versus infantry. On the Elven Steed, I'm not so convinced, because the weapon damage is more anti-large focused and less anti-infantry focused, though there is still a pretty strong AP component. The Archmage got killed over here, so tough luck for the High Elves. Looks like the Chariots managed to somehow keep the Eagle on the ground and kill it. It's probably that weird plowing mechanic that happens with units. I really hope they fix that going into Game 3. You're kind of seeing it here. See, like, this weird plowing thing. Sometimes your unit won't get any attacks while it's going on, though. It's a very odd mechanic. Something that needs fixed. That noble easily able to kill the chariots there, and it's going to come dive bombing into these warriors with great weapons. There's going to be a lot of units taking AP chunks out of the noble here, and the noble just isn't really a dedicated anti-blob unit here. It has to have that Athelmar chariot to really be good at that. We're going to get a foe seeker, help out a little bit, but I mean, this noble is in over his head. Unsupported at this point, just not going to be able to cause the damage needed. And the Warriors of Chaos are going to come away with a victory, albeit a close one at the very end. This was a great battle between Consul of Rome and Shamak 4040. He went with the numbers game, and the numbers game won here. And sometimes it can, just depends. I would say that back in the day, there was interesting connections, like with Rome 1, between quantity and quality. And a lot of times quality would win out, depending on the given situation, but a lot of times quality did. And I would say that in Warhammer, it can kind of go both ways. Sometimes quality does win out, it kind of depends, again, on the situation. Sometimes quantity can win out, and this is one of those situations where quantity definitely held the edge. Let's take a look at some of the high elf units to see their value. 1793 for the Archmage, 882 for the Handmaiden, which is probably pretty good. I think that they don't cost, I think they cost less than that. The Noble, again, pretty decent here. Should be close to what it paid for. Let's take a look at the White Lions. This is why these units just aren't very impressive to me here. This one got 127 kills and still didn't quite pay for itself. And these other two didn't. This one came close with 50 kills. I say close, but not quite. So none of them, like, in fact, even paid for themselves. The Handmaidens of the Everqueen's Court Guards, 1,285 damage, not enough for the cost of this unit, and Ragara's Pride didn't come anywhere close, which is interesting because Ragara's Pride should be a dedicated anti-infantry unit. I didn't get a close look at where these guys ended up, but if I remember right from having previously watched the replay, I do think they accidentally got caught by some halberds. But look how much hit points was left on Ragara's Pride. They must have routed with a considerable number of hit points, which is really frustrating when you have a 9 Chevron Regiment of Renown. Very good value out of the Illyrian Reaver Archers, though, so kind of see how these units go. On the Chaos side, the Sorcerer Lord did okay, nothing special, and then most of the rest of the damage was pretty well spread out, with maybe the Chaos Chariots probably being some standout. Look at this here, 1579 for the Warriors with Great Weapons. So again, think about the cost here. Warriors with Great Weapons are not all that much more expensive than White Lions, and look how much better they are. They absolutely wreck. Look at this, 1288. Like, did you see any of the White Lions come anywhere near that? So this is something that's always going to be confusing to me. I don't really understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. CA, why do White Lions suck? And why is everybody okay with White Lions sucking? I know that wasn't the purpose of this video. It wasn't why Consul of Rome sent it to me. I'm just bringing it up. Why do White Lions suck? I don't get it. I just don't get it. What do you think? Should they be changed? Should they not be changed? I feel like they need to change. Like, I feel like they're a unit that isn't worth their cost, and their cost isn't even that high. So you either make them cheaper to make them useful, or you have to make them better to fit their cost. In fact, I'm going to switch back off of the camera, but anyway, I'm going to sign off the camera here. We're going to look at one last thing, and we're going to take a look at the stats on this unit's. Go to a custom battle. Now I'm just curious. High Elves here, and let's grab the Warriors of Chaos over here. So, where is Chaos? Yeah, if we go down here and let's just kind of do a quick stat comparison. 800 is the price, and I'm going to just read the stats on attack, defense, strength, and charge, right? So 36, 28, 34, 18. 36, 28, 34, 18. And you go to a Warriors of Chaos Great Weapons, it's only 50 more cost. 36, 32, 38, 26. So for 50 more, you get a convincingly better unit. You get 4 more attack, 4 more defense, 4 more attack, and 8 more charge bonus, 1,125 more health, and you get 10 more armor at just the cost of only 5 speed. For 50, that's it. That's the cost difference. You see what I'm saying here? When we compare these units, like, there's just no comparison. White Lions are trash. They're just not good. See that weapon strength there? They got 25 AP and 9 base. Let's go take a look at that real quick and break it down. 10 base, 28 AP. So again, just demonstrably better for only 50 coin more. That is so much better. That's like the best deal for 50 coin. If you could get that for like 2 chevrons, which is roughly the equivalent of 50 coin, then it would totally be worth it. Totally be worth it. But you just can't. So again, White Lions suck, and I'm sticking to it, unless you all can convince me otherwise in the comments. If you all enjoyed it, if I earned a like here, make sure to take the time to go leave that like. Appreciate the 2 players for playing this and giving us some entertainment, and Consul of Rome for sending it to us. HeirofCarthage signing out for now.